Good morning, Tucson. Welcome to day 3 of Mineral City TV. It's a beautiful day here, and I'm standing in front of Building D, and there's lots of activities as all the dealers are making their final preparations before opening day tomorrow. I notice in the parking lot we've got a well-known figure in the mineral community, Evan Jones. You may recognize his name from the recent mineralogical record with the Milpillas Azurite article in there. Amazing article, amazing just overall volume of the mineralogical record. And let's take a second to go talk to Evan while he's unloading some stuff for the show. Hey, Evan.
Oh, hey.
Raymond Hall.
Hey, Ray, how are you?
We're doing the Mineral City TV, and we saw you over here unloading. We thought it'd be great to have a chat with you for a second about the fantastic article on the Milpillas Mine in general. So welcome to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about you and your company, Unique Minerals? Oh, I don't need to, you're mic'd up. I don't have to do that.
Well, sure. My company is named Unique Minerals, and we're showing here at the Mineral City Show. Really happy to be here. We're set up in room D22/37. We've got a lot of great specimens, new acquisitions, including wonderful things from the Milpillas Mine and other locations around the world. Appreciate you complimenting me on the article. It was a lot of fun to write.
Yeah, can you show us a little bit out of the article?
Absolutely. Here's the issue, and it was co-authored with Dr. Peter McGaw, who's of course a well-known figure and very knowledgeable on Mexican minerals and mines in general.
Who did the photography for the article?
All different photographers.
Oh, great.
We had Jeff Scoville,
Of course.
Tom Spann. Oh gosh, who else?
Yeah, it definitely looks like different.
But you can see this is probably, I have to verify this, but I think it has more photos than any other single article
In the history of the mineralogical record. Wow.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun to write. I mean, I've been selling Milpillas Minerals since the very beginning in 2007. The mine opened in 2006. And, I've sort of been keeping track of the mineralogy and the different pockets that were found, as time went on. And it started out, I put together a talk for the Dallas Symposium, and that eventually turned into this article.
Awesome, awesome. So everyone's been hearing rumors about Milpillas being done, no more production, closed up. Can you tell us what's going on with that?
Well, here's the scoop. When the mine originally opened, it was projected to close in about 2013 based on the total amount of known reserves. However, they found more ore bodies, which extended the life of the mine into 2020. But unfortunately, the pandemic hit, and that really put a crimp on the operational capabilities of the mine. So the mine shut down.
But maybe not necessarily forever.
Well, at the time, we were told by folks in Peñoles that it was probably going to be permanent.
Okay, that's disappointing.
Yeah. However, there are some reserves left, so there is a small possibility we could see it reopen. But that's all up in the air. I mean, there's a lot of hurdles to cross, to get to that point where they could possibly reopen. And even if they did, it would only be for a couple of years.
A little bit of production, yeah. All right.
So it's up in the air. I mean, I'd love to see it reopen.
Sure.
We'd love to see more minerals coming out, but right now it's done.
Well, with that being said, make sure you guys come out to Mineral City and get some Milpillas material before you can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
So, Evan, you got some stuff you could show us here in the van before it makes it into the showroom?
Well, speaking of Milpillas, I have some right here.
Imagine that.
So let's take a look at some of these things. Now, several of these pieces were featured in the article. So even though the mine's been closed for a couple of years, we have some great material available.
Awesome.
Including these specimens.
That is just amazing.
So one of the features of azurites from Milpillas that everybody loves is most of the specimens have really high luster and this super color. I think it's the finest azurite locality in the world.
Many agree with you. Is this from a specific pocket?
Yeah, this pocket was hit in May of 2010, and we called this the electric blue pocket. Now, many pockets produced azurites with this so-called electric blue color, but this particular pocket was very distinctive, and at the time it produced hundreds and hundreds of pieces. So it merited its own name. This was found on the 1140 level in May of 2010. So
hopefully the camera is picking up some of this malachite in here and even the partial pseudomorphs.
Well, what's going on here is you've got several generations of mineralization here. So these crystals, started out as azurite crystals, solid azurite, and then later on there was supergene alteration, which altered the azurite to malachite, completely, 100% to malachite. Then another generation of azurite was
grew over the surface of that.
Deposited right on the surface. And because of this thin layer of azurite, you get these intense metallic blue reflections, which we call electric blue.
That's amazing.
So it's a fascinating study in paragenesis of these two copper carbonate minerals.
Absolutely. I'm going to give that back to you before I do anything silly.
So we've got another piece from the same pocket. Again, this is from 2010, electric blue.
I'll take it here.
And you can see the malachite pseudomorphs peeking out through the azurite. This second generation of azurite didn't quite cover the entire crystal in these spots. So,
I think it's really cool when it does that because it gives you a good visualization of what's going on there, and of course the contrast.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Studies on azurite and malachite have shown that malachite is obviously the more stable copper carbonate of the two. It takes very special conditions for azurite to form. It has to be a certain pressure, and there has to be a certain amount of carbon dioxide within the pocket to form azurite. If those conditions aren't met, then it forms azurite. So when I say it, meaning the mineralizing solutions which contain the copper carbonate in the solutions.
Well, another great one. So, all right, we hand that one back off to you.
And one thing you're going to notice about Milpillas azurites, as opposed to other localities, is they tend not to be covered with overgrowths of ugly oxide minerals or things. They come out of the ground beautifully clean, unetched, lustrous. It's really quite amazing.
So it doesn't take much to clean them up or prep them?
Not much, just simple trimming and washing.
Wow, that's always nice.
The reason we think that all of these minerals came out in such good condition is these ore bodies are rather deep. They were buried very deep a long time ago, so they were protected from later groundwater and fluids that would attack the crystals and alter them or coat them or etch them. So
well, that one's beautiful too. So there are other minerals in Milpillas.
Yes, there are.
You got anything to show us?
Milpillas has produced several world-class species, and a few of them are the finest ever found. Easily the world's best brochantite crystals have been found at Milpillas.
Sure, absolutely.
Brochantite is a copper sulfate mineral. The mineral volborthite, which is a fairly rare copper vanadate mineral, has been found in exceedingly large crystals compared to earlier finds, which tend to be very small crystals. So those are easily the world's finest. In fact, there's a whole suite of copper vanadate minerals that have been found at Milpillas.
Wow.
For some reason, this copper deposit contained a lot of vanadium.
So in here, for those at home, we're looking at here is just an amazing cuprite. And I'm really hoping the red is coming through in the camera, because out in the sun, the red just shines right through the surface of these crystals beautifully.
So yes, and cuprite is another mineral that has been found in exceedingly fine quality at Milpillas. And this is a combination of cuprite with brochantite, which we talked about a minute ago. And this is the finest combination of the two species we've seen from the mine.
Yeah, they're great with them coming up right up through in the front there, and the luster on the cuprite
Yeah, again,
too.
I mean, everything that comes out of this mine virtually is really high quality.
That's just amazing. Thank you, thank you. All right, how about one more? Blow us away with something good.
Okay.
All right.
Here's something
Oh my gosh.
that you will,
Wow.
I believe this is going to be pictured in the show guide, the Mineral City show guide, this specimen. This came from a pocket found in very early 2012. This is from the 1100 level, and we called this the Rosette pocket. The specimens from this pocket tended to come out in rose-like or rosette forms. And minute inclusions of white clay have created this lovely light blue color. Now these are very reminiscent of old Chessie pieces, reminiscent of old Bisbee specimens. But again, typical Milpillas, the luster is better.
Absolutely,
in general,
it sure is.
Than most of those earlier examples. The color is better.
That's an impressive
Just
stone
an
right there.
amazing mineral
Yeah,
deposit.
this is great.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, let's hand that one back off too.
Sure.
Well, Evan, that was great. Thank you so much for having
Thanks,
a talk with
Ray.
us about
It's really good to
Milpillas.
see you.
Good luck setting up in there, and we'll see you tomorrow when show opens.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here.
Great, and you are D22. I couldn't remember. So everyone, thanks for joining us for our first installment of Mineral City TV today. Join us again at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, and we're going to introduce you to some more dealers here that you can meet during the show. Thank you, everyone.